They're forcing you. That's what the word is, right?
What makes a meme universal? Well, it's gotta be funny. It's probably on the internet or social media, and it really has to resonate with a cultural phenomenon. From making a guest appearance in a music video in the Bollywood film Satya to being in countless memes, this vegetable is the epitome of the brown child torture at the dinner table. So clearly the meme shows that Korola is a huge part of South Asian cuisine. But why is it that I've never seen it at a South Asian restaurant? I'm gonna look up some menus. We have kebab and curry here. Vegetarian section. Nope, nothing. I'm looking at noxious snacks right now. Yep, it's not on the menu. Rasoi. Rasoi, menu, vegetarian section. Nope, there's no Korola either. When I asked my community at Brown University to talk about their experience with Korola, I got many interested responses and one very emphatic response.
So where I grew up, which is Singapore, we call bittermelon bitter gourd.
We call the bittermelon Korola.
We call it pavakya.
In Narayanganj, where I'm from, my hometown, we call it Ustan.
We call it Korola in Bengali. I actually didn't even know it was called bittermelon or bitter gourd until recently.
We call it Korola in Bengali or bitter gourd. The taste is, I would say, very much acquired.
I've never seen it in Indian restaurants. I'd be surprised if they do because it's such an acquired taste.
It's an acquired taste.
I feel like it's an acquired taste, to be honest.
It's definitely a mature taste.
It might look kind of weird and ugly.
Because the kind of bitter this is, like when I was trying to explain it to people, they would be comparing it to like raw cocoa beans or like coffee. But it's just a different kind of bitter.
It's just very bitter. Imagine something unpleasant.
My mother cooked it and I didn't like it. It's too bitter.
It depends on how you cook it, but it is kind of bitter.
I think depending on how it's prepared, you
True.
taste that flavor at first on how it's prepared, and then afterwards you just feel that overwhelming taste of bitterness.
And like, you know, you haven't really tasted bitter until you've tasted bitter gourd.
So I have always loved bittermelon, even when I was a kid. Like, it was surprising, and I'm like this little girl and I'm eating it, and everyone's like, what? Like, why is this baby like eating this vegetable? I've just always loved it, and I think my mom makes it so well.
My mother cooked it and I didn't like it. It's too bitter.
My family doesn't really cook it at home because they know I don't like it.
In our household, most of the time it's fried, stir-fried with onions and potato.
Usually fried with lots of spices mixed in.
With like chicken and like you know, chicken gizzards and all that jazz.
Usually we'll cook it in like a curry or even like a raita type of thing with yogurt.
Not in rings like this, but half of these either be like fried with a lot of spices and onions.
I hated it.
So I saw Abu and Amu eat it and I was like, oh, this is badass. I want to be an adult. I want to be like a baby like Isha. So I would like eat it with my path, but I would like make topa and just swallow it whole. Like I wouldn't taste it.
Apparently even much more healthier where you eat it raw. So you grate it really, really finely, and then you put onions and a lot of lemon and chili. Because it's such a nutritious like vegetable, when you cook it, apparently, especially with a lot of oil, you lose a lot of that. So the best way to consume it is raw. I think it loses a lot of its like antioxidants, and also I think it's really good for people who have diabetes. So my dad has diabetes, so we always have this for lunch.
Yeah, tattoo লাগাইছে একটা guy.
Mother tattoo?
Guy লাগাইছে যেটা। ও দেখলাম করলা
শেখানো ডায়াবেটিক কন্ট্রোল হয় নাকি তাতে?
The nutritional benefits my parents used to tell me were more like it's good for your stomach. It has a lot of antioxidants. It has a lot of like vitamins and stuff.
She'll be like, it's like high in oxidants and like different types of vitamins, but she also said that of like every other food.
আমাদের দেশে এরকম হার্বাল মেডিসিনের মতো বলে যাদের ডায়াবেটিক আছে ওরা যদি প্রত্যেকদিন সকালে আধা গ্লাস করলার রস খেতে পারে তাহলে ডায়াবেটিক এমনি কন্ট্রোলে থাকে। এই জন্য ডায়াবেটিকদের কিংবা যাদের হার্টের প্রবলেম আছে এরা বেশ বয়স্ক যারা আমাদের মতো অনেকেই সকালে উঠে করলার রস খায়।
It also makes you like have good skin. It like keeps you well in general, like solves your kidney problems, or maybe those are just myths. I'm not sure. We also have it mashed. That's quite bad. Yeah.
হয় ভাজি করতো শুধু ভাজি
With potato.
উইথ পটেটো অথবা মাছ দিয়ে রান্না করতো বড় মাছের টুকরা দিয়ে।
As Nusha said, that is indeed so Bengali. Just like we see in the meme of bringing a dabba from home for lunch only to find it to be Korola, we see a shared identity in the way in which the Korola is prepared. And in this preparation method, we find ways to reaffirm who we are. Korola, whose scientific name is Momordica charantia, is believed to have been originated from the Indian state of Kerala. Though its name in the Malayalam language is Pavakya, it is likely that the Hindi and Urdu word Karela and the Bengali Korola refer to its geographic origins. Etymologically, we can follow this vegetable to Gujarat, where it's called Karalu, and Nepal, where it's called Karalo, and in Sri Lanka, where it's called Karavila. Of course, the region it ends up in prepares the vegetables in different ways. In India, especially in the north, it's cooked with raita, a yogurt dish, and in the south, it's seen in curries, it's deep-fried, stir-fried with coconut, cooked with pachadi, which is a dish considered to be a medicine for diabetes. In some places, it's even pickled, which is another tradition we see in the Indian cuisine. As we head east to the Bengal region, we see it stir-fried and in porta, which is a Bengali word for mashed. And in the stir-fries, it's often cooked with potatoes, and in some cases, it's even cooked with shrimp and with fish, which, as Nusha said, is a very Bengali thing to do. In fact, the Bengali way of cooking other vegetables is also stir-fried with potatoes, shrimp, and fish.
Aloo is also a really big part of like our cuisine, and we put aloo in a lot of the curries, chicken curry or fish curry. We sometimes put it in a lot of like fried greens, I would say, like shak.
Mother friendly shak khai.
পুঁই শাক
Lal shak.
তারপরে
Pui shak.
Pui shak.
That's my
So good.
favorite shak. Yeah.
So good.
পুঁই শাক লাল শাক পালং শাক
There's like lal shak, which is red, spinach, and then pui shak and bak shak, different types of leafy greens. And they're also consumed with either like sliced potatoes or little shrimp pieces. It's very cute. And I think it helps the kids enjoy their vegetables.
Yeah, chard, there's like watercress. Palong shak. Bok choy
তারপরে
is a shak.
বাংলাদেশে আর পাট শাক।
From there, it went southeast to Burma, where it's also cooked with shrimp. Here we see the futility of boundaries. Burma, which usually isn't considered part of South Asia, was actually part of the British Raj and was removed from it during the first partition in 1937, 10 years before the 1947 partition of India. Despite Burmese religion being distinctly Buddhist and the politicization of Islam in present-day Myanmar, we see that through the way that Korola is cooked there, with shrimp, there is a seamless, unifying cuisine shared between Bangladesh and Myanmar. From there, it went to Vietnam, where it's prepared in soup. to Indonesia and Myanmar, where it is found in curries, and to China, where again it is stir-fried. In fact, the Chinese word for this vegetable, ku gua, translates to bittermelon, which is how it got its English name. In different regions, the bitter gourd takes different shape. In China, the vegetable is less jagged and is a bit larger. When understanding who we are and how we define our cuisine, it is not only the way the dish is prepared, but the species of the vegetable itself. In Western parts of the world, autumn means butternut squash and pumpkins, but in South Asian households, we find that gourds, which in Bengali we call kumra, include bitter gourds, bottle gourds, which are also known as lau, and various squashes, which are known as mishti kumra.
Gourds or kumra, it is a very big part of the household in Bangladesh. Lau, kodu, mishti kumra.
My mom loves cooking mishti kumra, which is squash or pumpkin, and then chao kumra, which I don't even know has a translation.
I really like mishti kumra, which is like pumpkin or squash from here, but it's different because it's more sweet back there.
Like all the other kumras, they're cooked with potato, often even with shrimp pieces, and it's similar to shak or a leafy green.
Yeah. I've had mishti kumra with shrimp and also lau with shrimp. And I feel like the sweetness of the shrimp actually adds to the flavor, which it actually feels really nice. Like it tastes really good. Yeah.
And then even at the farmers markets here, there are different types of gourds that we don't know how to cook, but we just bring it home and do the same thing, slicing with potatoes and all of that.
এবং healthy ma.
No, I know. I'm just saying. Like, yeah.
But even long before the British, long before colonization, trade routes in the Indian Ocean brought the bittermelon from Asia to East Africa. When colonization did begin, and as the slave trade took hold, bittermelon was brought to Trinidad and Haiti, and later Mauritius. We know this because in Haitian Creole, this vegetable is called asosi. And in Jamaica, it's called sursi and is usually consumed in tea.
You know, out of all the places it went, it never really went up north to Hyderabad or Pakistan, whereas South Indians eat a lot of vegetables.
Yeah, that's true. That's probably very tied to religion, you know. Muslims typically consume a lot of meat, which is why Hyderabadis were like, no way. But South Asians, especially the ones who observe Jainism or Hinduism, probably follow a strict vegetarian diet.
Yeah, and it's becoming very politicized now. Cows, for example, under Modi are banned in India.
It's interesting that there's a huge Muslim population, though, in Bangladesh. But I think the prevalence of bitter gourd is huge there because in Islam we kind of believe that everything on this earth has some medicinal value as well. The resilience of bittermelon is its ability to have been passed on through so many generations for so many centuries. Particularly amidst slave ships, it was traded, kept alive, and cultivated in new environments. It was a conscious effort to replicate the health benefits and feelings of home created by bittermelon. Would you ever, in the coming years, cook bittermelon on your own?
Probably yes, actually.
No, I've never. Firstly, because I don't really see it much.
Where did you get the bittermelon?
Not just spices.
They have it?
So my guess is that you haven't been consuming bittermelon.
No.
I would cook Korola if Amma was coming.
I wouldn't even do
I
that.
would try. I still wouldn't eat it.
Through modern-day trade deals and globalization, bitter gourd can be found in grocery stores almost at all times throughout the year. Its production serves a large market because of the feelings of home felt by those who grew up eating it. At the same time, just like cardamom chai and turmeric have found their way into American markets, bittermelon's health benefits have become studied and reported on by the scientific and popular outlets in recent years, meaning that its market may only continue to grow.
You want to talk about the generational gap?
Okay. I think, my parents as well as my friends' parents, they emigrated either from Southeast Asia, such as Thailand or Vietnam or the Philippines. They probably grew up with it with their parents, and it probably reminds them of home, so that's why they would like it. Since it doesn't remind me of Thailand, I don't like it.
It's a weird double thing of like being really bad, but also evoking a sense of nostalgia for me.
Maybe it's because it's so familiar, maybe it has connotations of home or whatever, but now I don't hate it as much.
Like how we have chai, we have strict parents, Korola. It's just like part of our culture at this point. Our love for fish, all that stuff is just kind of all an identity, I guess.
It's definitely a vegetable that I think every generation wants to have, or else people will stop producing it.
এর পরের জেনারেশন যদি করলা খাওয়ার অভ্যেস একেবারেই চলে যায় তাহলে করলা আর কেউ গ্রো করবে না, তাই না?
It's been passed on for so long and so wide. It need not be cooked every day or even every week. It doesn't have to be in every meme, but it will always be remembered. One bite of this vegetable, and you're immediately 9 years old again, eating it with your parent. And deep within you, you feel it, a sense of home.